So, welcome everyone to Thrivecast, Unlocking Your Full Potential. I'm Oscar. I'm an emotional fitness coach, and I help people reclaim their energy so they can embody their higher self and thereby living their true life's purpose. With me today, I have Katarina Hanssens Carlsson, who is my co-host. So, Katarina, please introduce yourself to our listener.
Thank you, Oscar. So I'm an entrepreneurial blueprint consultation. I get you your 80% mindset of success in one day. And today we're going to talk about being stuck as an entrepreneur and how you can get unstuck in one day. So the first question is, what are the three main reasons we get stuck as entrepreneurs? Shall I answer first, Oscar?
You go ahead, Katarina.
Well, number one, of course, is fear. Fear holds us back. Many of us think as entrepreneurs that we can just stay in our comfort zone and we can just do what we like and everything will be fine and dandy. No, we need to leave our comfort zone. That's where the money is. That's where the success is. You know, we create a vision, we create goals, we have to grow into them. And the inner saboteur, your reptilian brain, does not want you to get out of your comfort zone because then it loses control over you. So that's number one, is fear. Number two, I would say, is you're not aligned. So if you're not aligned with who you are and what you're up to, your purpose and your vision, it's not going to work. You are going to get stuck. So what happens then when you're not aligned? You lose motivation. You don't want to do anything. You don't really want to work at what you've decided to work at. You don't really have a driving purpose, but you want to make money and the bills come in, so you get more anxious. So it builds and builds and builds, and you get stuck. And number three, I would say, especially for spiritual entrepreneurs, if you're not really aligned with God, if you don't include God, then you can get stuck too. Because God may have given you an idea, but if you exclude God, then your mind will not be open to becoming a genius entrepreneur. So those are the three things I would say. You know, there's many more reasons, but for me, those are the three main reasons. And what would you say, Oscar?
Thank you for the question. Well, first of all, I would like to address that in entrepreneurship, when you start making a business, you have a business plan and you go at it. Maybe it's interesting from the beginning. You know, you have to create your home page, you have to make your branding, all of these fancy stuff. And I mean, but so it's easy for us to do these things that is, surfacey. But what actually a business is, depending on what business it is, right? But that's about connecting with your customers, and it shows, and then you have to show your message. You need to be public in some way. You have to share whatever it is that you have come up with that you want to share with others. And if we're not used to that, then it's and we're like, oh, I want money and I know I'm good at things, but we're maybe just talk to our friends because that's safe. So we're coming in a little bit on what you're saying there, Katarina, right? It's a fear. So if we have fear of being seen, if we have fear of being rejected, if we have fear of not someone accepting our message, then it's so easy for us to find other things, which brings me to the next one. What happens when we have these type of fears or programmings and so forth, right? Then we divert our focus, because in the beginning we are so interested in like, oh, I'm gonna create all of this. But when we come to these nitty-gritty stuff, or the daily things you need to do, maybe you need to talk to people, maybe you need to create posts, maybe, or reach out to developers. It's a tasks that needs to be checked off, and that's something that the mind, it likes novelty, and if it doesn't get novelty, then it's so easy for it to like, no, it's now boring. I don't feel I'm aligned anymore. I should probably do something else. So doubt creeps in simply because you allow your focus to be diverted, right? Which also then brings into the alignment essentially inside of you, because it's for your clarity to be there. You need to also feel that there's something higher that is guiding you, right? There's you, it's not, you're just not just doing this for money. You see, entrepreneurship, as we have spoken about before, Katarina, is a spiritual journey, right? It's you coming closer to spirit through service, through giving your gift to the world. But that demands an inner alignment, an alignment that comes when clarity comes instead of confusion or chaos that usually is the result of your ego running the show and diverting your focus away, right? So all of this is very much tied together. And obviously, since I'm an emotional fitness coach, what I highlight is that it's when you are stuck in your lower emotional spectra, when there's confusion, there's insecurity, there's not good enough, there is incapabilities, inadequacies. You are believing essentially that, oh, people will think I'm a fraud, or you're in perfectionism, so you dedicate yourself to this post forever, and then you get nothing. No one comments at all, right? So you don't get the approval. All of that noise stops you from really connecting to spirit and really understanding of it's you in alignment with spirit that allows you to provide the gift and the service that you so much love for others to have, or be, or be exposed to through you. And that is made through action. It's a continuous action every day that you do. Because if you take away one day, then it usually becomes harder, because it's so much easier to commit to everything every day, but to small parts. You do it, but you don't do it in a perfect way. You just do it because if you say, oh, I'm gonna do this 3 times a week, then it's like you break somehow a cycle. So it's better to say, this is who I am. This is what I do. I don't do it perfectly, but I do it a little bit at a time. So that's a long answer. I hope you guys got it. It's essentially, so it's fear, you diverting your focus, you're not aligned, and to take, as I say, consistent, committed, imperfect, aligned action. That's what it's about.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. And absolutely. Entrepreneurship is a spiritual game. I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of entrepreneurs who are spiritual, but they hide their spirituality. But their ideas, especially if they're successful, come from God, come from spirit. So, absolutely. So, my next question: how do we get unstuck in one day with neuroscience or with with transforming your emotions? How do we do that? Just recently, I worked with a PhD, and I have to say, PhDs, it's wonderful. You've been through school, you passed all the exams, you've been to university, passed all those exams, you've got a PhD, wonderful. But you can be stuck. Why? Because school has no idea, usually no idea about entrepreneurship, and nor does the academic world. Otherwise, they would be entrepreneurs. They have no idea how to support you entrepreneurially. So, how can you, as a PhD, turn your stuck business, or it could be a foundation, to be becoming unstuck? Well, the first question I would ask you is, what's your God-given gift? Now, for some people, they'd say, well, it's nothing to do with God anyway, but I'm a great listener. You know what your skills are, okay? Or you may not know, but some people absolutely know their God-given gift, but they're not following it. Why not? Because they think, well, I'm not certified for that. Who cares? Really, people, who cares whether you have 50 letters after your name or 3 or none? As long as you are competent at what you do, you love what you do, and you care about people that you serve. That's all. That's it. If you're competent, that's it. So, number one, I would ask, what's your God-given gift? Number two, I would say, okay, so now what stops you? We need to look at our sabotage strategy, because it's our sabotage strategy that gets us stuck. So we look at, who am I being in order to sabotage my business? Who am I being when I'm stuck? It's often to do with self-doubt, and, as you said, worthlessness, about feeling incompetent, feeling artificial, etc., etc. The inner saboteur is artificial. Hello? It is. It's not real, and it's not authentic. And it wants control over you, and it has had for thousands of years. So it takes some work to let go of its control. So, what is your sabotage strategy saying about you, your identity? Once you find that, you can turn it around, because it's a lie. It may have happened one day in a traumatic moment that you made up your mind that I'm a victim or whatever. Well, victims cannot be successful entrepreneurs. I'm sure you know that. So turn that statement around, and then look at your habit, your undermining habit that undermines you and gets you stuck. Is it procrastination? Is it that you go around in circles? Is it that you have self-doubt? Whatever it is, those two statements will change your life. Not only your business, but your life, your relationships, your family, your finances, and your health. So turn those statements around, find your driving purpose, and you can get unstuck. It can be done, especially if you're spiritual, in 1 hour. That's what happened yesterday. 1 hour. Get unstuck as an entrepreneur. So, Oscar, what do you say? How do you get unstuck through emotions? Through, you know, what's your methodology?
I mean, it starts with, first of all, understanding where is the client, where you know, what are they in need of, and seeing how deep is this stuckness, how far does it come, how far does it go. If it's a serious fear of being seen, then that needs to be unpacked from my side. It needs to be looked at, right? So what essentially I do is like, well, just when you, if it's, let's say it's a public speaking idea, and then is what happens when you're there on stage? What is it that's going through your mind? Like, imagine, close your eyes right now and imagine, like, what is it that you are so fearful is going to happen, right? And now make it a little bit worse. Make it a little bit worse. Like, see, like, I don't know, people are throwing tomatoes at you, like shouting at you, saying you're wrong. What is that evoking inside of you? You know, what is the fear that is coming through that? Now, simply ask is, can I let this go? And if you hear a no, perhaps we need to go deeper. If there's a yes, simply you maybe just need to stay and learn to be with your emotions and accepting the bad ones as much as you're good at accepting the good ones. Right? And so I would say, first, meet those emotions. Be with them, because you will see that they will show you the situations in your previous life or in your life where you've been shamed for being seen. Either someone is saying to you, oh, who do you think you are? I mean, why do you brag so much? Why are you so loud? Dampen your noise, and so forth, right? But again, now we're just speaking from a public speaking standpoint. But in essence, the same is for everything. You close your eyes, you look at what is it that is making you not do what it is that you know you should do, right? And then, as Katarina says, then what is your passion? What do you love to do, right? Maybe because someone might not even be in this idea of like, oh, I don't have a business yet because I don't know what to focus on. Then we need to really align and say like, well, these are the things I do naturally. You're just simply not aware of it, right? You're there. Maybe you go to YouTube videos that are of a specific type of character. It's like you love everything that has to do with technology. You're even someone who like look up gadgets or whatever, right? So it's simply about what are you pulled towards that you're doing anyway, but it's about directing it so there's a structure around what it is that you need to do. All right. And then we simply look at, okay, so what is the next step, right? Because unstuckness is simply about forward movement. So once we let go of the fear, we figure out the direction you need to go, then we say like, okay, what are the top 3 actions you could do today that is a little bit uncomfortable, but that you can stay with the emotion and do anyway, and keep on doing the next day and the day after without feeling that it's, you know, a hardship for you. Because everything is built day by day. You know, me and Katarina, we didn't speak this easily and flowing and all of that from the beginning of our podcast. We didn't, because it simply is something that gets ingrained in your being as you keep doing what you love. So here it's simply for us to acknowledge that and keep doing the action that you know that you feel good about doing, and you do it every day, but small steps. Every time the emotion comes up, stay with it, understand it. If you need to go to the deeper of the traumas and so forth, just recognize that this needs deeper healing and keep doing the action anyway. That's what I would say.
Beautiful. I love it. I think Oscar, 90% of people would rather opt out of being on the stage. Some people would rather die than actually get up in front of an audience. And that obviously comes from past life trauma or present life trauma. And it takes guts. It takes guts to get up and speak your truth. And I went through the exercise as you were announcing this, and I closed my eyes. I put myself on stage. I actually am a UN speaker, so you have to get let go of a lot of fears. And I'm actually going to Nigeria. I'm going to Lagos in September, and I'm speaking for 18 minutes. And I'm on the stage with people like, they've invited 6 people, and Tony Robbins, 4 others, and me. So I don't know if Tony Robbins has accepted, but it's pretty good. So even that is a little scary for me. So I'll just share with you, the public, because if you want to play this video again, go through what Oscar just took us through. So I'll be totally honest and vulnerable. I went through doubt, because now if I was going to do the 18 minutes right now, I probably could swing it because I know that much. But if I went into doubt, which I did just now, I went into doubt, and I went into the fear of freezing up, just, no words are going to come out. Oh my God. I know I have a client who actually did totally froze in front of 1,000 people. I mean, he had a hard time getting over that. So, and even imposter syndrome came up, which I thought, oh my God, I know what I'm doing. I'm authentic. But no, it came up like, oh my God, you don't know what you're doing. And comparison to the audience. They could be better than me. They could know more than me. They could be more successful than me. And so when you said, Oscar, well, can you let it go? It was, no, I can't let that go. And then the answer came up. Love. Love. When I love my audience, I love what I do, and I come from love and I speak from love, all that disappeared. So thank you, Oscar. That was really refreshing. So all of you who are afraid, I mean, we're going totally off course here, but you could be stuck on stage. So all of you who are afraid of public speaking, imagine for a moment just loving your audience, loving yourself, and speaking from your heart, your mind, your soul. It will work.
Yeah. And something that I want to add to that as well, because as entrepreneurs, we're usually the voice of the brand. We usually are. I'm not saying that we are, but you can maybe sit there and in business and someone else is driving it. But most of the time, you are the one who lives your passion. And when you live your passion, you do want to share it, whether it is publicly or when you're sitting on a business, in business class and you're talking to someone and you're speaking with confidence and have no problem because you simply are clear about it. You don't feel that you're comparing yourself or whatever, right? So essentially the daring to share
Yeah,
is
I love it.
is an essential part of both life, but especially entrepreneurship.
Beautiful. So, Oscar, how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, you reach me through my website, realitydecoding.com, where we can have a 30-minute conversation about where you are now and what do you need to do to get unstuck and what is it that you most of all in life would love. And then you can also go to Oscar Nygren on YouTube to check out my YouTube videos if you want more information there. And if you want to hang out with like-minded souls that are very both sensitive but also spiritually awakened and loves to be part of sharing their gift with the world, then you can head to Live Your Purpose on Facebook. Yeah. And you, Katarina, how do people reach you?
LinkedIn, Katarina Hanssens Carlsson, and click on my Calendly link. The first 15 minutes is free. So, and that's not going to be forever for either Oscar or for me. So click on our links and talk to us because we can get you unstuck. Being stuck can cost you a fortune, not only in time, but in money. So get unstuck as quickly as you can. So goodbye from me and Oscar for today. Goodbye.
Exactly.
And next week, we're going to talk about whether your blueprint is working for you or against you and what to do about it.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. See you next week.